incline push-up. This exercise can be used as a regression to a regular push-up on the floor, or it can be used just to target specifically the upper pecs for someone that can already do a bunch of push-ups on their toes. So the lower the thing is that you have your hands placed on, the more difficult this is going to be because the more weight is underneath your pressing muscles. This bench is quite low. If you wanted to do something slightly easier, you could find a little bit of a higher bench. You could maybe use a windowsill or a reading nook in your house. You could use a kitchen countertop that's more around belly button height or rib cage height, or a dresser in your room, something like that. But the lower it is, the more difficult it's going to be. When you get down onto the bench or whatever you have your hands on, it's okay to have your palms flat like this, or if you have wrist problems, you can wrap one thumb around the edge if you prefer to do it like that, or if it's a nice flat surface, you can even have your knuckles down or whatever makes your hands comfortable. So don't be too fussed about the hand placement as long as they're slightly wider than shoulder width apart. You're going to step back and make sure that sort of the middle of your chest is coming down to the top of the thing that you're pressing on. A lot of people struggle with push-ups because they either start doing like a dive push-up, or they have too much of their body over and they're coming down and they're sort of arching their back like this, and it's really uncomfortable. So you want to make sure you're getting the middle of your chest to the top of the thing that you're pushing on. Elbows are pointing behind you, tucked in sort of to your rib cage as you're pressing, breathing in as you go down, out as you come up. So down and then up again is one repetition, keeping your head in line with your spine, nice deep breaths. If that is too difficult for you, you can do a wall push-up, where you find a wall, put your hands about shoulder width apart and shoulder height, and get your feet away from the wall and slowly lean down until your head or your nose is almost kissing the wall. Big breath in, come down, big breath out, push away. So there's only so low you can get with this one without your wrist starting to feel funky. And it's the same thing as the one on the bench. Your elbows are pointing down and they're tucked in. You never want to do a push-up like this with your elbows up here. That's going to cause a bit of strain on your shoulder muscles. So you always want them to be pointing down. The width of your hands, how far or apart or close together they are, that's just changing which muscles are working. It's not going to be hurting you or making it worse. The important thing to remember is where your elbow is pointing. So you always want your elbow pointing more towards your rib cage and never towards your head. So that is how you do an incline push-up.